Yeah, it really was more about the way the game went as opposed to, whatever numbers and whatever were attached to it. Um, the way that first 20 minutes was played. Uh, you know, we just we played like a team that was tonight anyway, on a mission to do something that was really important to them. Uh, and I always say it's important to play great and to play hard and to play with a lot of energy every single night. And I know that that's not possible every night, but I think those first 20 minutes tonight was a kind of an indication of what happens when you do play. And I was as good a. I told them in the locker room that's as good a 20 minutes of basketball as any of them have ever been a part of. And even the Mississippi State game last year in the tournament, a lot of those guys didn't play that much. So for them, that was pretty special. What happened tonight?
You think the crowd had anything to do with that, Geno? There was a lot of energy at the beginning of that game.
Yeah, there was. I mean, it's always nice when you're home and the home crowd is involved, and then we made a bunch of plays that got them even more involved. Sometimes our crowds have a tendency to wait to be entertained, and today, I think we worked together to create a lot of energy. We did our part, they did their part, and there were some great plays out there that are going to be part of the highlight film, I'm sure.
Geno, you mentioned this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing that you guys have now done twice within 10 years. How do you assess where this program is compared to others in history?
I've always been bad, about chronicling my own history. That's left for other people to do. I know. It's funny. I just got done telling this to our players. Anytime you do something that's never been done before, and you do something that's going to be in the history books, then you feel like very, very few people have ever been in this situation. And who knows if anybody will ever be in this situation again. I don't know. But for us to be in this moment twice is it's hard to describe. I mean, how do you? And I know I've heard all the stories. It's so easy. You have all the best players. Okay, let's just leave it at that then. We have all the best players.
Toward that, can you just talk about Gabby? You're up by 50 points, and she dives into their bench to save a ball. Just that type of effort, kind of what you expect out of this program.
I said it outside here, and there's only so many ways I can answer these questions. So they're going to be in different news outlets. But if you haven't seen Gabby Williams play basketball in person, then you have no idea what she's like and what she brings. I went in the locker room at halftime, and was talking to our video guy, and we were just going over some stuff, and I said, and he's a big football fan, as are our other coach. I said, Gabby Williams is like the Lawrence Taylor of women's basketball. Whatever play you're trying to run, it ain't gonna happen. And we switch a lot with her, So 1 minute she's guarding you, and you think, the other guys are like, I'm glad she's not guarding me. And then two sequences later, she is guarding you. And she is just so disruptive and creates so much, so many ways, whether it's a deflection, whether it's a steal, whether it's a couple of the blocks that she had, or whether it's a defensive rebound, or she just makes plays that the average basketball player can't make. And if you don't watch her play in person, you're really missing out on something pretty special.
Number one football team in the country lost last night.
Yeah.
Number one basketball team
Who?
Baylor. They lost by 21 to West Virginia. One of the Kettlers there.
You don't want to, yeah, you don't want to be playing West Virginia when you're number one in the country. At West Virginia, right? Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever,
Huggins has got those guys going, boy.
do you ever wonder like the sustainability of you guys, doing what you do, and then there aren't off nights and there aren't situations where you guys play down to the competition, you just keep going on?
Yeah, I mean, again, as I've said, not to, not to minimize any of this, but we just try to play really, really, really hard every night, and we try to play with a lot of energy every night, and we have players that have bought into over the years, this is the way we're going to play. This is the way we play at Connecticut. And that doesn't mean we're going to win every night. Doesn't mean we're going to be successful every night. Doesn't mean we're going to make every shot or, be perfect. But this is how we're going to play. And you're going to have to play great to beat us, generally speaking.
Coach, you said that you didn't really expect any one individual player to come out and be able to carry this team on her back.
Right.
But we have seen a core 4 of players emerge
Mhm.
in Nakia, Gabby, Fisa, and Lou. What do you think has allowed those 4 players to click so well on the floor together despite not having a lot of playing time together last season?
I think a big part of it might be that there isn't a feeling among the 4 of them that one of them is responsible for it. So I don't think any of them feel the pressure or the burden of, I have to do this every night. Now, having said that, I think all 4 of them know that individually and collectively that we need them every night to be at our best. And none of them has to be superhuman. None of them has to be, get 35 points on any given night. They just have to do their part and be who they are. And they've kind of embraced that. So all 4 of them play off each other. They all help each other, and they all know that they've got each other's backs. And if one of them happens to have a bad night, somebody else will pick them up. And so far, it's been fun to watch.
Coach, you said yesterday that you were not enamored with the streets. Are you a
Right.
little more enamored today? Are you a little more excited about it?
The way we played. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here if we played lousy tonight, and we sitting here and, you want to make a big deal over 90, I probably wouldn't even come in here if we'd have played lousy. But we played an amazing game of basketball. We played the kind of game that coaches aspire for their players to play. And it was just at both ends of the floor. There was just a lot of stuff going on there today that you just have to shake your head. And that's what I'm happy about, and that's why I'm smiling. It's got nothing to do with 90. I could care less about that.
Did you see a performance like this coming?
Not really, not really. I mean, we haven't played in a while, so that was kind of on my mind. We had a couple of days off. We didn't really do much heavy stuff at practice. What's today? Tuesday? So we had Saturday off. So we went Sunday, Monday, then played today. Sunday we went real light, and we didn't do much. And, they were pretty good. And then yesterday, the day before the game, I thought they'd really come out and get after it. They were terrible in practice. So I think they were just anxious to play a game, and it looked like it. Like they were anxious to play. And you never know about that, but they were, I want to go back and watch it. I want to see what it was like. It was, and I told Jose after the game, I said, look, I have no idea where this came from. This got nothing to do with you guys. It's no reflection on you guys. When we play like this and when we shoot the ball like that and we play defense like that, I don't think it would have mattered who we were playing tonight.
Sanaya's had her moments where she's made a shot
Yeah.
and made a play, but was today from opening tip to the end of the game her most
Yeah.
confident game?
Yeah, because she tried really, really hard at the other end, just like, you know, the 20 points that she scored. She did that against Stanford too, and she gave up 30. So today, she worked really, really hard at both ends of the floor, and you could tell that she was in a good place where she expected great things to happen. And you know, I kept saying this, you know, kept waiting, and now the trick is, will we see this again in our lifetime, the way she played today, you know, because it has a tendency to come and go with Sanaya. But forget that she scored a lot of points in high school. So some of those layups that she made in transition, they weren't easy. And she's like Fisa. She knows where the basket is. She figures out a way to get the ball in the basket. And tonight was a really, really good game for her. Really, really good game for her. And Nat played her best game since she's been here. You know, Kia's in a great place right now relative to where she was, you know, the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the season. And Lou's been Lou, and Fisa's been Fisa. So we're getting, and Crystal was really good. Crystal was really good. Crystal's not playing for the next 2 weeks. She's not. She has a thing in her foot that we have to keep an eye on, and today was going to be her last game for a while if it didn't, you know, respond exactly the way we wanted it to. And so it's more of a precautionary thing, but I think maybe she knew I'm not going to be playing for a while because she went out there and played today.
Surgery thing or just
No,
rest?
no. Just get off of it for a couple weeks. She played. She played. And when, you know, it's what I've been saying all along. When she's playing, but every coach says that. Hey, if we do this and this and this and this, and if every guy does this, 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 and that, and we all put that together, we're going to be great. Well, how often does that happen? Tonight it did. Tonight it did.
Just got time for one or two more.
You know, the last time you won 90 games, there was a pretty intense spotlight. I mean, this has been, you know, relatively under the radar.
Yeah.
Why is that? Is that, I mean, because it's one UConn team beating the record of another UConn team instead of a 30-year-old record or whatever,
Yeah.
36-year-old record?
And it's male and female.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
You know,
Yeah.
it was, you know, for all the people coming out of the woodwork to complain that we weren't UCLA and you're not John Wooden, and we don't have any UCLA signs in our gym, and I don't have anything in common with Coach Wooden. So I never said that. Nobody in our program ever said that. But it became this, you know, how dare you compare those two? And everybody, you know, got jumped on that bandwagon. Now people can ignore it because it's just us trying to beat a UConn record, which I don't understand why they didn't ignore the Nikisha Sales thing when I did, you know, when I committed, you know, the greatest crime of the century. You know, everybody had a problem with that. So I guess, you know, it's, again, I don't want to minimize, but I think the perception everywhere is, well, of course, it's Connecticut. And the competition sucks. So, you know, you hear all of it. It's okay. You know, those players in the locker room, they don't buy into any of that. They just know this is who we play, and we play better than most people most nights.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Jim, this team kind of befuddled you for some of the season. Are you warming to them?
Ah, man, I can't stand some of the stuff that I got to watch and practice some days. But I sat there that first quarter. I sat there, and I really didn't know what to say. Usually I'm prepared for stuff. Like, I could see it coming. I just, like, we went over stuff at shoot-around today, and they didn't even know why we were going over it, because I'm thinking, all right, there's going to be some dicey moments in this game where I want them to know that when we run this, this is what I want. And so, yeah, I didn't tell them that, but I just kind of, so I came in thinking this is not going to be one of those just roll the balls out. And that first quarter, I was speechless. I really didn't know what to say. I really didn't. And I don't know. There's something going on. I don't know how long we can we can keep fooling them, but we are. So far, so good.